Hey guys. So I was perusing TikTok the other day, convincing myself that I was looking for an idea for a YouTube video when my girlfriend suggested I take a look at someone known as SiggyShade. Now, I've seen one or two TikTok videos from SiggyShade in the past month or so, and I was intrigued, but I didn't think much of it. But this time, I decided to take a real look on TikTok. And oh boy, was that not a good look to look at. If you don't know, SiggyShade is a fanfic erotica author who has created such classics as Tentacle Entanglement and Breeding with Bigfoot. Oh, and don't forget Birched by the Krampus. These stories usually include a monster of some mythical variety having intercourse with a stand-in for the reader, also known as a your name, so that you can live out your desire to be loved by something. Here is the Amazon description of the book titled Jack's Head. The headless horseman was hunting for his next victim. Well, he found one. Me. He could have taken my head on the spot. I distracted him. Headless Jack was so pleased with my efforts that he made me a sexy proposal. If I stayed with him and satisfied his every dark desire, come morning, I'd leave with my head and his hidden treasure. I could have said no. Maybe I should have. I didn't. Sounds good. Sounds very good. Sounds like I would. Very good stuff. Really quickly, just want to jump in here and say that this video is sponsored by Thematicraft. Thematicraft is a YouTube channel that creates Minecraft ambience videos for you to study, relax, sleep, or I don't know, work out too, if that's what you're into. There are seasonal videos, there are videos about wizards or about the beach, you know, whatever you want. If you guys want to check it out, please do that. Thanks again to Thematicraft for sponsoring. Back to the video. In my pursuit of finding SiggyShade content for this video, I ended up finding a variety of accounts, ranging from teeny tiny accounts to accounts with over 1,000 followers, some with 10K followers, and even one with above 20,000 followers, all pumping out the same kind of content. The pure tenacity to spread this complete vitriol is genuinely inspiring. I gotta give credit to SiggyShade for the pure dedication. Also though, it's a little sad, especially since some of the pages are set up like fake fan accounts, but they're literally all just promoting the same content in the same exact ways, so it's definitely SiggyShade. Currently reading, more like currently writing. Am I right, guys? Oh, bro. Because there is so much content to sift through, I figured I would narrow the search for the video a bit by just focusing on the most popular book as far as I can tell. Obviously, Breeding with Bigfoot. I mean, how could anyone resist those big foot? So the first page I stumbled upon when looking for SiggyShade on TikTok was Book Boyfriend Smut, an account with 20,000 followers, which if you notice does not say SiggyShade or that it's an official account for SiggyShade. It's instead being presented as a fan account with currently reading SiggyShade in the description, but we know the truth. I looked for an official SiggyShade account and I think I found it, but they don't post much, and I can't tell if it's actually an official account, so we'll just focus on Book Boyfriend Smut for now. On this page, I did like a full headfirst dive into all the content and found myself submerged in just an ocean of terrifying AI-generated images accompanied by truly horrific text promoting SiggyShade's work. To preface, I do not like AI art. Not only is it often horrifying and uncanny, but it's also often exploitative of the work of real artists. I don't think it should be copyrightable, and I also don't really think it should be used in the promotion of the sale of a product like this, but that's just me. Half, if not more, of the videos on this page and all the other pages I found are these slowly gyrating AI-generated images of sexy monsters and text assumably from or about the book, like when the tentacle monster decides it's time for you to birth its triplets. Or POV, you spy on Bigfoot in the forest and he watches you right back. Which of course is a very common thing to experience, common point of view to have. The other half are what I describe as attempts at doing TikTok trends, like this dancing Barbie dogs trend that says, you and Bigfoot celebrating after you've taken a belly full of his milk. And then it's just a shitty 8-fingered fucking Bigfoot holding a jug of milk and humping. Or how about POV, you read Breeding with Bigfoot for the monster porn.
Skip. But when does this game get fucking good?
So true. That last picture is definitely better than the other ones. They've got a and the Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal driving meme about Bigfoot breeding you, so that's great. There's also this one about Bigfoot feeding you his salted caramel, which, you know, what the fuck is salted caramel? Is probably what you were thinking, which I thought the same thing. I knew it was some type of sexual innuendo. I just wasn't sure which end it was coming out from, if you catch my drift. That's when I scrolled down and inadvertently stumbled across this post that seemed no weird than the last until I read the pinned comment. I read this book out of curiosity and it was so out of pocket. He used his ding-dong to carry her around while she drank from it? Then I'm thinking, hold on a sec. Salted caramel, drink, salt, and it hit me. Bigfoot is a bakery chef. Just kidding, it's his cum. So I started really looking into the Bigfoot videos and just finding more and more about this salted caramel and prehensile penis that I've heard so much about. And I found a lot. Apparently he's generous with his salted caramel, but he's also holding you hostage with his salted caramel and making you survive on his salted caramel. But he's making you survive on his salted caramel for your morning sickness, because it's the only cure for your morning sickness. So he's actually a really nice guy. But that didn't explain how he was able to carry you or me with his ding dong. Like, is it fucking sentient or what? That's when I was lucky, or I guess more appropriately, unlucky enough to stumble across this. When it drags along the forest floor and changes shapes, it winds around your waist so he can transport you across the forest and you can swing from it like a wrecking ball. Why? What purpose does swinging from it serve? Is that a kink or something? Penis swinging? I'd imagine that hurts. And dragging on the floor, that sounds very impractical. And personally, I wouldn't want to have that. The audio choice being "fuck me emo boy" is also hilarious. Like, imagining an emo Bigfoot in this scenario where you're just swinging on his dick is hilarious. Whee! So as I continued my search for any more detail on this salted caramel, I actually found way more videos about breeding with Bigfoot that weren't just one gyrating image of sexy Bigfoot with text about salty sweet treats, and instead were multiple images of sexy Bigfoot with text about salty sweet treats. When Bigfoot demands playtime, he gives you a count of 10 to run. So you, Lindsay Lohan, of course, swing on the nearest vine. It's the shortest countdown in the history of the forest, which has got to be very short. Bigfoot roars, ready or not, here I come. You swing as fast as you can, but Bigfoot is faster. Ew, oh my god, look at his fucking feet, dude. What the fuck? Before you know it, you're swinging on Bigfoot's vine, his penis, and very happy you lost. Monster romance, size kink, male milking, breeding kink, primal play, pregnancy trope, outdoor sports, cinnamon roll hero? I'm sorry. Just trying to wrap my head around what that means. I have to admit though, this story left me wanting more. I have to know what happened to me. What did I get the salted caramel or not? I mean, Jesus Christ, can we stop talking about salted caramel, guys? But then it turns out that my boyfriend, who is also apparently Chris Pratt melting into a woman's face, is cheating on me? And his sneaky link is Bigfoot? What the hell? I thought I was with Bigfoot. What does my boyfriend think he's doing cheating on me with Bigfoot? I gotta find out more. So you decide to get revenge and you steal Bigfoot for yourself. And apparently we put Bigfoot on our shoulders, piggyback style, and run away with him? And he's also got a baby on his shoulder or a baby as a shoulder? What is this? I also look absolutely terrified, and it could have something to do with this grotesque monster screaming into the abyss on my back, but that I don't know. It could be anything. When your boyfriend takes you camping, but he cheats with Bigfoot? Again? But that just happened a second ago. What the frick, dude? There are actually around 4 of these exact stories that I was able to find across a multitude of pages, all kind of just copy and pasted with different AI generated images and slightly different text, but all kind of the same thing. So after a while, it starts to get a little bit redundant. The next one, however, was interesting because of the content that Siggy decided that they should promote this monster porn with. When her boyfriend cheats with Bigfoot, so she steals him for himself. But the next day becomes his pregnant captive. Funny meme, kid. Great idea. Let's use a meme of a child crying to promote your sex book about Bigfoot's massive magic sweet producing tree trunk penis. That's a great idea. That's not the last time that SiggyShade uses a meme of a literal child to promote this content either. When you catch your boyfriend cheating on you with Bigfoot and you're aching for your turn. Child approves. This is so disgusting, actually. Siggy, if you're watching this, you can write all the deprived monster kink fetish porn that you want. Just please leave children out of it, okay? It's weird, it's exploitative, it's not funny, it's not cute, it's wrong. There are so many of these videos I just talked about. So many more than I could have ever imagined, all spanning over multiple accounts and varying just slightly. And don't forget, I only mentioned the Bigfoot ones. Imagine one of the videos I just showed you, remove Bigfoot from it, add in a new sexy monster and multiply it by 500 and then multiply that by 5,000. Just a never-ending cascade of undulating pictures and provocative slideshows. And that's why I had to narrow it down to the video on breeding with Bigfoot. It has nothing to do with salted caramel or anything like that. So at this point, we could do this forever and get the same results over and over. The only real variation, if you can even call it that I did find is this page that posts the exact same content, except they have like a Funko Pop of the monster that fucks you, and they're recording that. The video quality is kind of bad, and it's just kind of sad. I don't know why, but it is. But like I was saying, there's actually not much more to look at despite how much content there is. So in my pursuit to find a little bit more content for my video and nothing to do with the salted caramel, I eventually found on one of the videos that I could go to SiggyShade.com/Bigfoot and then sign up for an email newsletter, and I could maybe get a little sneak peek of breeding with Bigfoot. So of course I had to do it. I mean, it'd be crazy if I did it. I put in my email, accepted the cookies, and then boom, I got a message with a link to a PDF. I downloaded it, and my fucking God, guys, this is gross. I don't know what I was expecting, knowing that this is erotica, literally book porn, but for some reason my mind was clinging to the hope that it would just stay gyrating images and shitty your name scenarios that end in cliffhangers. It is much, much worse. Very sexual, very graphic, and all around quite sinful. But nonetheless, the show must go on. And I decided I would read some of the best excerpts from the provided chapters for you guys and also act them out with a green screen, a little Curtis Connor style, so you guys can get a good idea of just exactly what is going on with breeding when you're breeding with Bigfoot. Also, I want to say I'm no writer. In fact, I changed my major from English to psychology, so I have no room to talk, but some of the writing in this is just a bit bad, as you'll see. Also, please go check out SiggyShade.com or SiggyShade on TikTok. Maybe even sign up for the newsletter if you're so inclined. But bottom line is, this is Siggy's content, so I want to give some credit and some attention to Siggy since I'm milking them for content, Bigfoot style. Anyways, enjoy. My fingers close around the top of the sleeping bag, trying to keep in the warm air. But it's futile on such a chilly night.
Brian,
I hiss.
let's back up and sleep in the truck.
My boyfriend mumbles something, pretending he's drowsy.
Did you hear that?
I ask. Go to sleep, he mumbles.
Brian! Faye, we are not going back to the truck. I paid a lot of money for this trip, and I'm not gonna waste it by spending the night in a vehicle. Go back to sleep.
Heavy footsteps crunch nearby, sounding like they're coming close. Oh shit, it's probably a bear, or worse, a psycho.
Brian!
I hiss. His breathing changes.
Can you hear that?
I ask. Brian does not respond. He probably thinks I'm being paranoid.
I'm not.
Especially when the footsteps are accompanied by animalistic panting.
Brian!
I bark. He rolls onto his side, giving me his back. Crawling on my hands and knees, I unzip the tent and scamper outside. Excited, heavy breathing fills the clearing.
Brian,
I whisper.
someone's coming. Let's go. Either get back inside or break your neck on the way to the truck.
Brian hisses.
But I'm not leaving this tent.
Without looking back, I scramble to my feet and scale the nearest trunk. A huge figure steps out from behind the trees. It's a man, or something else. The creature circles the tent. Bigfoot?
Bloody hell.
Brian's about to die. My mouth opens, and I suck in a huge breath to scream, but common sense clamps it shut. I pull out my phone from my pocket, fire up the camera app, and hit the red button. Reddit would call me an asshole for recording my soon-to-be ex-boyfriend getting torn apart by Bigfoot, but I'm not about to become the prime suspect in his murder. Besides, I'll need something to show the police. And to upload on TikTok. Bigfoot crawls into the tent. Brian makes a high-pitched scream, and my gut tightens with guilt. I should do more to help Brian than make a video of his demise, but I've got to put me first. Bigfoot is grunting and pawing at Brian like a wild animal. His massive hands grope in my ex-boyfriend's body, and I can feel my stomach churn. Bigfoot pushes Brian down to the floor and pins his arms over his head. Oh shit. Bigfoot is gonna eat my ex. Brian chuckles. Face to face this time. Alright then, big boy. Give it to me nice and hard. Lube first. Brian raises a hand. We've talked about this before, buddy. Bigfoot roars. Bigfoot's rolling growl changes pitch, but Brian cuts him off by producing a large tub. I crane my neck to get a better view of the scene. Bigfoot slams his fingers into the jar and shoves Brian onto his back. Oh, fuck, Brian says. You're so good at this. Heat rushes to my cheeks, and I squeeze my thighs together to contain any arousal. Bigfoot rumbles something that sounds like, "Here it comes." Brian groans, the sound so deep and guttural and resonant that I feel it in my core. My throat tightens, and I swallow hard. Bigfoot rocks back and forth with shallow thrusts, entering Brian with a level of patience and care that I didn't expect from a mythical brute. Yes! Brian raises his arms above his head and bucks his hips, looking like he's trying to deepen the penetration.
That's it, big boy,
Brian says from between clenched teeth.
Fuck me harder.
The slick sounds of flesh slapping against flesh join the mix of grunts and snarls and okay, I think that's good enough, guys. I'm gonna need a sip of water after all that action. Clearly this content is not made for me. If it is made for you, I hope you enjoy. Good for you. If you enjoyed the video, please consider joining my Patreon for only $2 a month and get the video one day early. Thank you again to Thematicraft for sponsoring this video. Also, if you guys ever want a part 2, I could definitely do that. SiggyShade has got a lot. There's a lot to talk about, I should say. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys.